Thank you for joining us at xam.com for this Forex Preview. We'll be having a closer look at the Reserve Bank of Australia policy meeting coming up on Tuesday. I'm Christina Marujos, and joining me today is Senior Investment Analyst Marios Hadjikyriacos. Marios, this RBA meeting comes at a tough time, one would suggest, as lockdowns across the country are being prolonged in order to tackle the surge in virus cases. Therefore, it doesn't look easy for policymakers whether they'll stick to their plan to taper or whether they'll reverse this decision. What do you think we'll see at this RBA meeting?
Hello, Christina. Well, it's going to be a tough one for the central bank because there aren't any great choices it can take. So let's take a step back. When they last met in early August, they decided to stick to their plans to reduce asset purchases despite the lockdowns. And the logic was that previous shutdowns didn't really hit the economy that hard. And if things were to worsen further, then they could always change their mind and either pause or abandon their tapering plans. Now, there's no doubt that things have worsened. The lockdowns have been extended. We've seen some economic indicators take a massive hit, even though some others have held up. And overall, it looks like the economy is going to take a much bigger hit than previously expected. Now, to make matters worse, iron ore prices have continued to fall and the Chinese economy is also slowing down. Now, this is crucial because iron ore is one of Australia's biggest exports and China is the nation's biggest customer for that. So what will the Reserve Bank do this time? Admittedly, I think the most prudent approach would be for them to pause their normalization plans. It made sense to reduce stimulus a few months ago, but not anymore. Pushing ahead with those normalization plans now, it would save the central bank some face, but it would be a very questionable move from a risk management perspective because it could make the economic hit even worse.
And now let's have a look at the Aussie because it has been enjoying a good 2 weeks, gaining especially on dollar weakness. How do you think it will move, though, on the RBA decision on Tuesday?
You're absolutely right. The Aussie has capitalized on some weakness in the US dollar, and the fact that vaccinations have finally started to accelerate is also a positive signal. Now, how will the Aussie react to this policy decision? Here's where it gets interesting. I don't think we're going to see a powerful rally. Here's why. The RBA has two choices right now. Either it will pause its tapering plans and tell us that, yes, we thought we could normalize, but the economy has worsened. Therefore, we're going to adapt to that. We're going to put our tapering plans on ice. That would send a very dovish signal that probably hits the Australian dollar. Now, the other choice would be to push ahead with normalization despite the worsening outlook. Now, normally, this would argue for a positive reaction in the Aussie, but I think that we won't get any massive upside reaction this time because the markets might see it as a policy mistake. So if the central bank is trying to normalize into a weakening economy, that could make the economic situation even worse, and that could ultimately be negative for the currency, even though the normalization move in itself would be a positive signal. So long story short, I think that the risks are tilted to the downside for this meeting, and overall I struggle to see a scenario where the Aussie rallies very powerfully.
Marios, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for watching this Forex Preview on the Reserve Bank of Australia policy meeting coming up on Tuesday here at xam.com.